Anderson versus the field in the sense of Will Anderson plays against Florida, how will that affect the Gators? Versus if Chris Braswell and Dallas Turner have to go in Will Anderson's stead, how will that affect Alabama in going against Florida? Now, as of right now, the update remains the same on the talented sophomore outside linebacker. The Crimson Tide still have him listed as day-to-day, and encouragement that he practiced on Tuesday. He had Monday off, practiced on Tuesday, practice today, and just depending on how he looked today will go a long way into him playing this weekend against Florida. Now, we know with Will Anderson on the field, Alabama has an experienced guy against the Gators. Anderson played against Florida last year, had a good showing against Florida in the SEC championship, a couple of sacks in that matchup. So we know with him on the field, you're not only getting the experience, but you're getting the pass rushing, you're getting the run stopping, you're getting him affecting the quarterback. We know Florida is going to be bringing in two running quarterbacks in this matchup with Anthony Richardson, the freshman, and the experience of Emory Jones. But when you have a guy like a Will Anderson starting in this game, he can frustrate the passing game. He can affect the passing game. He can sack the quarterback. He can collapse the pocket. He can bait the signal caller into making some poor choices on the field, and those poor choices will result in turnovers just due to not only does he have the experience at that jack linebacker position, but now he knows even more of what his role is on the field as well as the roles of his teammates on the field. So we all know Will Anderson playing, Will Anderson out there, it's a big deal. He's got the experience, he's got the tools, he's got the physicality, he's got the pass rush moves. He brings everything possible to the table to make this a successful ball game for the Alabama defense. So he practiced today, he practiced yesterday, just depending on how he continues to look out here. Good chance to play in this matchup against Florida on Saturday. Now, of course, Coach Saban is about to get into his press conference right now, so our own Patrick Dow, breaking news reporter for TDA, is in that press conference as we get news from Patrick concerning one Will Anderson. We'll provide that to you. Also, Coach Saban will have his weekly radio show, Hey Coach, on Thursday, and if news is provided from that venue on the sophomore outside linebacker, we'll get that to you also as well. But as we look at here now, Chris Braswell and Dallas Turner, in the event that Saban may want to hold off on Anderson, make sure he's really, really good here for games to come in the SEC slate here for Alabama. We take our attention to Chris Braswell and Dallas Turner. Both of these two guys would get that look, would get that opportunity. So starting this thing off here with Chris Braswell, he's got five-star pedigree. He came in from the Maryland area, St. Francis Academy, in the 2020 class, a five-star. And, he's got big-time talent at 6'3", 240 pounds. We saw it in the spring. We saw it in summer workouts. We saw it in fall camp. We saw it last week against Mercer. Braswell made some plays, including a blocked punt that was returned by Jace McClellan for a touchdown. Now, I know what you're thinking. Steven, but he ain't Will Anderson, though. Steven, but he ain't 31. Steven, but he ain't the Terminator. Steven, but he's just not Will. And I get that. Chris Braswell is not Will Anderson. But at the same time, you want to have these guys get these reps and get these opportunities. The best way for players to improve, the best way for players to get better, the best way for players to have that success is for those guys to get those reps, on the field. And if you're not going to be able to go with a Will Anderson, then you got to have that confidence in a Chris Braswell out there affecting the quarterback. Now, the good thing with Braswell is, and going back to the spring, just using Bryce Young here, for example, Bryce Young, an athletic dual-threat quarterback. much like Emory Jones of Florida, much like Anthony Richardson of Florida. In the spring, we saw Chris Braswell, 5 tackles, 3 of those for loss, 3 sacks. He got around the offensive line. He affected Bryce Young in the passing game, even forced a fumble that was recovered by Jalen Moody for a touchdown. So Braswell's got speed. Braswell's got quick feet. Braswell has pass rush moves. CB has got explosiveness coming off the edge. So if given the chance, if given the opportunity, he can make plays. If given the go-ahead, he can make plays out there on the field in winning the edge, setting the edge, forcing plays back in the middle so the rest of the teammates can make the tackle, or setting that edge and still being able to make those plays on the outside to corral and to affect the passing game of Florida. So that's Braswell. Then when you look at Dallas Turner, this is a homecoming for him. Turner played at 2 of the most prestigious powerhouse programs, high school programs, in the Sunshine State when you discuss St. Thomas Aquinas High School in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and American Heritage High School. American Heritage coached by Patrick Surtain. So Turner knows what's up. Turner knows what it is. This is somebody at 6'4", 245 pounds. And remembering in the 2021 recruiting cycle what he said, he saw Will Anderson make a lot of plays as a freshman last year. And for Turner, it became for him, if Anderson can do it, I can do it. If Anderson can do it, I'm going to come to Alabama and show that I can do the same thing. I can give off the same essence, the same vibe, the same production, the same numbers. Seeing the motivation that Will Anderson provided him, that sparked Turner, that inspired Turner to come to the Crimson Tide. And he had very strong summer workout, very strong fall camp. He got out there a little bit against Mercer, made some plays out there, made some noise out there. So I feel like even if Anderson were not able to go, and you would have a Braswell and you would have a Dallas Turner worked in, this would be good for Alabama because it would get some young, fresh guys even more opportunities in an SEC big-time matchup right here. But also, it would allow these two to unleash their talents. They're both quick. They're both violent. They're both nasty. They're both big-time. Going back to Dallas Turner, prior to the Delta strand of the COVID virus happening, and the media got shut down again from going to the practices. When we were out there, or when I was out there, there was one particular practice where Sal Sunseri was getting on everybody. He was getting on Will Anderson. He was getting on Christopher Allen. He was getting on Drew Sanders. He was getting on Chris Braswell. He wanted to see, who's got the violence, who's got the violent hand strike, who's got the pass rush moves, who's got the hands that can stick it to a guy, can make plays, and can bend around and can get quickly around and affect the quarterback, affect the passing game, and mean business out there on the field. And Dallas Turner, number 15, he took the drill. He came across the little pass rush back, and he knocked the graduate assistant 5 yards to the other side of the field. And all of a sudden, Sal Sunseri goes, "Who the heck was that? Who was that? Who was that? 15? Turner? That's violent. I like that. Do what he's doing. Whatever he did, do what he's doing." And from that moment, I left going, hey, Dallas Turner is going to have an opportunity to do a little something. Dallas Turner is going to have a chance to show what he can provide on the field. So it's going to be interesting here because you got, Thursday's walkthrough, you got Friday's walkthrough and trip over to Ben Hill Griffin Stadium in Gainesville. So we shall definitely see what happens. I know we all want Will Anderson on the field. That's just a fact. You want your guys healthy out there. You want your guys with experience out there. You want your guys that have played in marquee games out there. They know what to do. They know how to handle the crowd noise and the pressure and the anxiety and the adrenaline that's going to be happening there inside the swamp. So for those reasons, you want Anderson out there on the field. And for the mere fact that the pass rush ability that he provides. He was good. He was really good against Miami, whipping up on the Hurricanes' offensive line. Prior to getting hurt, in the game against Mercer last week, he was having success there, whipping up on the Mercer offensive line. So you want to have Will Anderson out there most definitely, but at the same time, if Saban feels like, we want to make sure he's good, and Saban, for every injured player, Saban asks that guy, can you go? Do you feel good? Do you feel comfortable? Do you feel ready? The training staff can say, Saban, he's good to go. The medical staff can say, Saban, he's good to go. But Saban is going to always ask that player, are you good? Do you feel like mentally and physically you can go out there and give us the effort and give us the production and give us what we need to win this football game? He's going to put it on that player to answer that question. So Will Anderson says, Coach, I'm good. I feel like I can go. I feel like I can do this. I'm ready. You will see 31 out there on the field. If there is a little hint of doubt, then we'll say, you know what? There's a little hint of doubt there. We're going to hold you another week. Let's put Chris Braswell out here. Let's work in Dallas Turner in here. And let's see what these two young guys, or this combination of these two young guys, can do on the field here against Florida.